classmate of Sociology of Sanitation, who has been a very strong guiding pillar for us, and he's a prolific writer. I cannot imagine anybody writing so much as Richard Pais. In world of sociology, he is very eminently known for his publications. And he can produce one book at every month, so 12 books in a year. He has got so much capacity. He has got 6 books in his pipeline on agenda, capacity and energy, and he spends maximum time on his laptop and computer and in his garden working with the plants and flowers also. And plus, he always tells me, look, at age of 35, I became a diabetic patient, but I am hale and hearty at age of 70 plus. So I am very inspired by Professor Richard Pais, and he has maximum contribution to our publication series, right from the first textbook, Sociology of Sanitation, till yesterday when the books were unveiled. The original title of the book was Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak, Father of Action Sociology. Rawat Publications, they had their own logic. They said it should be contributions of Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak. Though I had opposed, but then Dr. Richard Pais wanted that Rawat publication should be there, but Rupa publication was ready for that publication, but I did not interfere. So, but that book has been released, and we are very honored that today the last word will be Dr. Pathak's last word, the father of Sociology Sanitation. But before that, I will request Professor Richard Pais.
Respected Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak, all the dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. I have come many times here to Sulabh, and I remember twice I gave valedictory address here. And yesterday and today, I am still more happy because I never sat there. All the time I sat here. And yesterday I sat in that corner, and now I have moved to the center. Yeah, three persons here and 3 persons there. Whole day sitting. And today I am very happy that on my right hand side, Bindeshwar Pathak is sitting, and on my left hand side, Professor Tripathi is sitting. I know Professor Tripathi from 2003. In 2003, I had organized a very big conference of Indian Social Science Association, Agra. Professor Rajeshwar Prasad was the president there. Then I had invited, or Rajeshwar Prasad had invited Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak for that, but he could not attend. That's why he deputed Professor Tripathi, and we became friends since then. Secondly, anyway, I thank Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak and Professor Neil Ratan for giving me this honor for sitting 2 days here. Secondly, I gave a speech during inaugural function. I was to speak in the afternoon also yesterday, and I have been waiting till now for the last 28 years, 28 hours to give this talk. We had last 2 days, we had very fruitful discussion, and every science has got both theory and practice. Usually, many of you are professors from the universities, study theory and impart the practice of it. But here, first we had the practice. Professor Bindeshwar Pathak talked, then 2 ladies from Sulabh spoke, then the professors came. So first they have given the practice. So now it is up to you to select from there and theorize the practical aspects and produce it in the perfect theory form. Now if you examine sanitation from Indus Valley civilization, India was famous for sanitation. And what was the date? Indus Valley civilization started 3000 years BC and it was till 1500 BC. So let's take 2000 BC till the 20th century, how this downward turn happened. One of you is a historian, so it is an important part of history of sociology of sanitation to find out why that there was a decline from Indus Valley civilization till the 20th century. The situation became very bad. It was not the case with Indus Valley civilization alone. You see, in Roman Empire, all the empires, the famous was Roman Empire. It started 400 BC, and we find the division of Roman Empire in 400 AD. And they had good sanitation system, toilets, etc. Then you find that why there were so many epidemics in Europe, because you find that they used to have the toilet system, but they were not treating the night soil. So that's why there is mosquitoes and they used to get so many diseases. And if you come to the Middle Ages, I mean, there was no sanitation at all. People used to throw the shit out from their window. And you find that Black Death came, so many people died. If you see the history of epidemics in the world, you will find it is very bad. It is because of lack of sanitation. And after studying, when this pandemic started, I was in Australia. I was caught up there and I could not start back. So I had nothing to do. So daily I used to see how many people have died, how many people have died, how many people are affected. Oh, I was feeling very bad. So many people are dying and all. Then one day I saw the death rate of India and divide the whole population by the death rate. And one figure came, divided it by 365. So daily, without coronavirus, 28,000 people were dying. So I thought, okay, it doesn't matter, 500 more. Then after recently, I wrote one very good article, and it was published in American journal, not international journal. It is international, but published from Louisiana, America. The title is very interesting. Is coronavirus disease a disease of the whites? And I proved that it is a disease of the whites, not of the blacks and the browns. I made a list of 15 countries where there was maximum disease of coronavirus. And in these 15 countries, not a single country from Africa, and there are only 4 countries from Asia, and rest all 11 countries from Europe and America. Then, because you find that these are absolute numbers, we cannot do anything about these. I got the statistics, number of cases per million population, number of deaths per million population. And you find that India, though it is second in the list, it came 14th in the number of cases per million population. And it came 15th in the number of deaths. So I conclude, I gave 10 reasons why it is a disease of the whites. Because you find that India has got very good resistance or immunity. The blacks have got excellent immunity. It doesn't affect them. Otherwise, you find that there would have been deaths, or in biblical proportion in Dharavi, Mumbai, biggest slum in Asia, but it has not happened. So we find that it is because of lack of sanitation, but we find that our immunity is very high. Now we come to the aspects. After this Indus Valley civilization, in the last century and this century, there are three important personalities who have done a great thing for sanitation. One is Mahatma Gandhi. Of course, I have written extensively in my book and all, but I will mention one or two sentences each. Second is Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak, and third is Prime Minister Modi. So Mahatma Gandhi said, unless we rid ourselves of our dirty habits and have improved latrines, Swaraj can have no value for us. So that is the strong words of Mahatma Gandhi. And he was busy concentrating on villages, because that time you find that in 1901, only 10% of the people were living in cities. And by 1951, only 18% were living. So in that, today is 35. Today is 35. I know. So today is 35, but now it is urbanization increasing something like 1%. Yeah, 1% means you find that around 0.5%, around 70% are migrating to cities. That is a great one. Now we come to efforts of Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak. Of course, I want to be very brief, because I know you are tired, but I am more tired. So he was the one who started Sulabh Sauchalaya. Not only Sulabh does not mean only about toilets. That is social reformation. Sulabh means social reformation. Yesterday I told you what he had, the perfect casting of persuasion. Persuading people. He was not for dharna, he was not for opposition, resistance, anything. So this is a great quality of Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak. So he understood the importance of education, and especially the education of the downtrodden people. So in 1992, he opened Sulabh Public School, which we visited this morning. And he is the first one to use in India pay and use latrines. So now you find that if you make free, people have no value. Now at least some value is there. And we have seen biogas generation, cooking from that, lighting, electricity generations, etc. So you are all familiar with that. Now coming to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Even before Modi, there were some efforts by Congress government. UPA too started with the Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan. But nobody knew about Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan. Only in 2014, October, Prime Minister Modi started his program. Now once I had come to Delhi, at the same time I had to go to Kota, Rajasthan. So I told the office here, plan my journey by train from here to Kota, and after 2 days from Kota to Mumbai, then I took a flight. Then when I reached Kota station, it was very clean. Something like the railway station we see in foreign countries. Foreign countries I have seen many railway stations, very clean. So even Kota railway station was very clean. So that is the achievement of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now we find that there are certain problems of sanitation. And yesterday we had people from the Ministry of Culture, and we find that what Modi said, within 5 years we will have open defecation free. But we find that the government department, they say they have achieved that, but we find that actually I have got here by WHO and UNICEF released some data in July 2021, said only 15% of the country's total population defecates in the open. So 85% ODF. And out of this 15%, 1% there is open defecation in the urban areas and 22% in rural areas. So, of course, yesterday I answered some questions why people prefer, they don't use toilets. And of course, I gave two reasons yesterday, and I remember one, because in one of the conferences, one person from the industry, she came, one lady from the Boeing company. She said that they built very good latrines somewhere in the village, and some miscreants of the village itself, they come and poured cement in these toilets, and they could not be used. Then later they found out why they put cement, because they were very angry. In the whole of village there was no water, only this toilet had water, so they got very angry. So in this way you have to understand people's reactions, opinions, etc. So now you find that another important thing about caste and scavenging, still scavenging is done by lower caste people. Of course, Bindeshwar Pathak has done, some people have come up, etc. And we find that still it is done, most of them are engaged in sanitation work. On December 2, 2021, Ramdas Atawale, Minister of State of Social Justice and Empowerment, said in Rajya Sabha that 73.31% of manual scavengers are from scheduled castes. So only 25% or 26 or 7% are from non-scheduled castes. So in this way you find that this caste system is still there. Then one of the important aspects is that of plastics. This has created havoc in that. So let me conclude. The prospects, you find that one of the important aspects is that the females have started using the toilets. Of course, men, they want to go outside, but doesn't matter. Anyway, the women are safe. So, and at the same time, 85% they have, ODF has stopped. So finally, I saw many people praising Dr. Pathak. He deserves the praise. And you find that the work done by Sulabh, it is very good. But I am asking all these professors from the universities, what you are going to do for Sulabh? What you are going to do for Sulabh? So we in Mangalore we have done, because we find that when the lockdown was there, we could not come to Delhi to meet sir. So we used to have meeting in my own house. We 5 people are there. Myself, Dr. Vinay Rajat, Ravindranath Rao, Hans, and Joseph Matthew. So in one of the meetings, we decided that all of us, all these 4, will write 2 books each. And I decided to write 4 books for Sulabh. And Mr. Hans is very fast. Within 2 months, he gave me two books. Yeah, one is the Sustainable Sanitation, other one is Economics of Sanitation. So I will be discussing with you, sir, later. Okay. Now, so I request all the persons, those who attended this conference, to write at least 1 book each. And if you can, don't tell me that you are head of the department and you don't get time to write. You might have seen Jagan Karade. He writes regularly, though he is the head of the department. He might have written 10, 15 books. And around 8 years back, he called me to Kolhapur. I released a book, one of his books, published by Oxford Publishers. So he also mentioned many books he has written. So I request all of you to contribute. It is not enough that you come and praise here. You contribute to Sulabh. So write in vernaculars, because now it is being taught in 22 universities, and after 2 years it will be taught in 50 universities, I am sure. And where is the material for them? Where is the material in the local languages? So write in Gujarati, Hindi and all. So it will be useful for you. Then secondly, I request all the professors, university professors, to go beyond sanitation. Of course, sanitation is the biggest problem in India, but there are many other problems also. For example, floods in India. Then you find that recently Prime Minister Modi tried to raise the age of marriage for females. Is it correct? What is your opinion? Wearing hijab, should it be allowed? There was strike in Karnataka. Just one small thing, Muslim girls should be allowed to wear hijab. So anyway, this became a movement and all, it continues. So what I request you to go beyond this, because take my own example. I have decided to write 4 books for Sulabh. I want to write 4 more books of my interest. And they are very interesting, very interesting. 2 books I will tell you. One book is Beyond Caste, Religion and Nation. Now just imagine Russia has attacked Ukraine. How many people have died? Why should there be war at all? So you find that what I am taking is a concept of soft nation. Don't have hard nation. Why you should not have hard nation? India is ours. India is ours. But you say world is ours. So I would prefer I am going to settle down in Australia because my children are there, and including Nil Ratan, at least 15 people told me not to go. But I tell you, if I go there, I can live for 10 more years than here, because the environment is very nice, weather is very good. Once I told my daughter, here it is air-conditioned weather. Here you get tired, in summer it's terrible, and you cannot live. So then there is a lot of respect. Once I was going for a walk, and somebody came by car. He saw me from this one. Then he went back to his house, reverse, and after seeing me crossing, then he went back. So much respect people have got. So in that way, that I am also. Then another book I am planned is on Bihar. Bihar is a very poor state. Now we should not be considered about Karnataka or Delhi and all. We should help Bihar in reconstruction. I have got 2 concrete suggestions. One is how to control floods, and another is prohibition. Nitish Kumar is struggling with prohibition. He can't manage it. And Supreme Court said it is flooded with applications of this one, cases. So what I suggested is a middle path. Anyway, is Buddha from Bihar. Nitish Kumar has to take the Buddha's advice, take a middle path. Anyway, I will discuss with sir. So with these few words, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity, and thank you for your patient hearing. Thank you.